What's good, Chaotic Nation? It's your boy, Chaos here, and I've always wondered who Flannery's grandfather was. So, today, I've decided that we will be taking a look at who her grandfather could be. So sit back and relax as we enter the world of Pokemon. Now, I want to get the elephant in the room out of the way. In the anime, it is confirmed that Mr. Moore is Flannery's grandfather. However, we have realized that people in the anime and the games can be different people. Look at Gary Oak, for instance. Gary isn't in the games, but his counterpart, Blue, who is his counterpart for a reason, is in the games, because he represents Gary as the rival character in the first couple of games. So while this theory has ultimately been answered in the Pokemon anime, I'm going to be addressing the Pokemon game version of Flannery's lineage. Sword and Shield has implemented a lot of new characters to the Pokemon universe, and one of them that I really took interest in was the ever-burning Man of Fire, Kabu, the Fire-type gym leader. Now, it's no secret that I have an affinity for Fire typing, but that's not the reason why I became interested in Kabu. From NPCs in Motorstoke City, which is where the Fire-type gym is, you can learn, and also from his trainer card, you learn that Kabu hails from Hoenn. Immediately, my brain began to connect him to Flannery. When you put these two together, they really don't look too similar. They share no real features or genetic coloring in any of their common colors on their hair or their eyes, but that doesn't mean that they aren't related. Now, this really isn't that detrimental to the case. Family members can look different from one another, especially when the offsprings have two sets of genes that are formed into one from their father and one from their mother. So Flannery could have inherited some of Kabu's traits, but maybe not any of his physical appearance. Now, this is very interesting when you compare their dialogues. Both talk about the intensity of the heat when describing how their battles are. Now, granted, this could just be a Fire-type gym leader thing, since they like to use the elements of their Pokemon and their preferred typing in their character's dialogue. But you also can see it in their mannerisms. Both are determined to beat you before the battle begins, and once you have defeated them, they try to learn more about themselves through that battle and also strive to become better trainers. They also share a similar battle style, which is a full frontal assault, which plays more into the storyline of how Flannery is trying to learn from the experience of her grandfather. Another thing is to look at the age to determine if the two could be two generations apart. In Hoenn games, Flannery's age sits about 18 years old. As for Kabu, there's really no information at this time to give us his exact age. So I've done some cross-referencing to look for someone who looks similar to the age of Kabu. Professor Samuel Oak. Oak is recorded to be in his late 50s or early 60s in the events of Fire Red and Leaf Green. So, roughly, Kabu would be about 60 in Sword and Shield. This would mean that it is possible for Kabu to be old enough to be Flannery's grandfather. The only piece is unclear here is where that Sword and Shield fits in the complicated timeline of Pokemon. If Sword and Shield is a great deal later than Hoenn, then it would be less likely that Kabu could be Flannery's grandfather because the age gap would be too small for them to be related. Now, we also know that Flannery's grandfather decided to leave the gym in order to train and learn more about his Pokemon and about fire typing. His travels could have taken him to Galar in search of new fire types and more powerful trainers. He definitely would want to battle somebody known as the undefeatable champion, so it makes sense that he went to Galar, and his skills were eventually realized by Chairman Rose and Leon, which ultimately granted him a spot as a gym leader for the region. Could Kabu be Flannery's grandfather? I think that Kabu is Flannery's grandfather in the game universe anyway. I feel like this is too coincidental to have it be anything else. A trainer who is a fire-type trainer who hails from Hoenn, who is old enough to look like Flannery's grandfather. Most likely is Flannery's grandfather. But that's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and let me know if you want to see more theories like this in the future. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and also subscribe for more content from me about Pokemon. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I'm Chaos, signing off. Stay safe, and as always, burn it up.